Ladies and gentlemen, and Hailstorm, this is internet personality Vangelus here with a review of member number 1 of the Animated Hailstorm Foursome, Transformers Animated Waspinator. This is a pretty neat toy that I did not expect to actually see come out. I remember back when the first pictures showed up, I was surprised as all hell. His Wasp mode is a little bit questionable, but once you futz with it, it can be pretty cool. He's got this flapping wing gimmick, which really does everything it's supposed to. And he's actually fairly posable for a Wasp toy. The official alt mode is different than this. This is the way that I like to pose him, just because it looks kind of like, you know, he's feasibly flying around with his little wasp legs going buzz buzz, I'm gonna kill you by ripping my own spine out. Oh no, that's a bee. Well, Bee-inator's probably got a suckier life than Waspinator. You can also have him kind of crouch down, like he's, you know, resting his pupae, or whatever the bug parts on a wasp are. I should have done some research beforehand. And that looks kind of neat too, but really, I like the other way. It's a little more dynamic. This way looks a little bit too like he's just curled up into a fetal position, which does suit Waspinator pretty well. These arms, by the way, can be mixed up either way. You can have one go in front of the other, but I find everything works a bit easier if I have the inside ones behind the outer parts. And he actually has some good jointing on his little stinger here, too. So really surprised me how posable his Wasp mode is, given how posable insect Transformer alt modes tend to be. If you want to see what he looks like with some of his buddies, here he is with his waifu, who's responsible for his situation, Black Arachnia. And for the sake of legacy, here's his great-granddad, the Waspinator number 1, Mark 1, if you will. They really do look neat together, and it's nice having all these bugs around, even if it is a bit of an infestation. Transformation on this guy is fairly simple, harkening back to the simplicity of Beast Wars, if you would. I do like this clever way, though, that the two arms combine to form his robot mode arms, although it feels a little bit like I'm kind of bending the plastic to pull it off, and I'm afraid that this may be a fragile point sometime down the road when you know all your animated toys are worth just as much as vintage G1s are worth nowadays. Ha 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 ha! Never gonna happen. I do like there's a few things, so it's not just you standing the beast mode up and stretching the legs out, like this hinge here for the hips. I like that it really sucks them in for the Wasp mode. I'm not sure if the instructions mention that. I have kind of gotten to the point where I sort of ignore instruction sheets now. And he has shared antennae, kind of like Animated Swoop has the shared bits of the head to reveal his robot mode head. And he's got these wicked little sub-arms, which I just love. They finish off his monstrous design pretty nicely. So in robot mode, he's got a very bestial, insecty look going on. If you want, you can insectoid up his legs even more so than they are already, although I kind of like doing this just to add some variance, and because they have a really nicely sculpted third knee bend in there already. But it does mean he's quite stable, especially with these enormously long insect toes. You can do a lot with his shoulders, you can pose him pretty decently, although these parts can come off, but really, on Waspinator, that's an action feature. Generally, he's as posable as I'd like him to be, right down to having a pretty cool neck ball joint. I kind of wish he had a waist joint, and I kind of wish, I don't know, there's something about his arms that bothers me. It feels like these fingers could have been jointed to give him some more kind of like, you know, skiddly little insecty dealies. But I can't complain. He generally works out pretty well. If you want to have his wings up, that works too, and his gimmick still works here. So, hooray for that. His sculpting is pretty spot on, although show-wise, he was quite a bit more bestial than this. I actually like the way this looks, though, because if they'd done him up just as bestial as he was in the show, I would have wanted him to be taller. That's his big problem. He is a short deluxe. Just as a comparison, this is him with Samurai Prowl. Yeah, everyone kind of looks down on Waspinator, but you know what? Waspinator has plans, and one day Waspinator will show them all, and he will make them as short as he is. For further comparison, I'll just transform these guys about as quick as it took me to do Waspinator. So as you can see, they're pretty neat little trio, if you think of them kind of as husband, wife, and granddad. These are the Insectoids. Love them. Anyway, Waspinator, I would say if you're not into Beast Transformers at all, he's not going to change your mind. And if you aren't into the look of him, Really, he's a simple transformer. He's solid at what he does, but he doesn't really have any surprises. However, if you're into the bug transformers like I am, or if you're a Beast Wars fan, I would definitely say pick this guy up. His only real problems are, as I said, he's kind of simple, and he's a little bit short. But what he does solidly. So if you're okay with kind of a moderate average transformer who doesn't really do anything wrong, then go for Waspinator, I'd say. But if you want something special out of your transformers, if you only get the best of the best, or, you know, you see some other cool toys and you don't have enough money for everything on the shelf, then he's something you can write off your list easily. Anyway, this has been Internet Personality Vangelus with the first part of the Animated Hailstorm Foursome, and I will talk to you all later! Now I'm gonna go and rub myself down in chitin so I can become an insect. Chitta, 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 chitta! Rubbing it on me, yeah, this is good! This is good! Ugh.